It's safe to say that many of people have a sort of fascination with the undead. I mean, death oftentimes has an evil connotation to it, you know, but it's still interesting to us in like a morbid curiosity kind of way. Some poor soul plucked from the mortal plane before his time, shit like that, and it definitely gets more interesting when you think about how there have been a lot of different theories as to what comes after you go lights out sleeping with fishies. And because there are so many people who have said different things about what comes after death, it's hard to make stories for movies, TV shows, books, and video games about what comes after because there have been so many people who have said so many different things. But one thing that almost everyone can get behind is the concept of what if the dead came back to us? Not in like a reincarnation sense, but more of a, "Grandpa, you died 6 years ago, why are you biting my hand?" Instead of just, "Ooh, dead guy came back to life and is the exact same as before he died and everyone lived happily ever after," they always come back as something else. Something more sinister. Clearly, this concept of undead monsters is quite popular because one Google search would tell you that there's a whole lot of them. And whether it's one of the common ones, one of the ones you can't pronounce, or one of the ones you just can't say, the one thing they all have in common is the fact that the media loves them. Well, I say the media loves them. The media loves making money off of them. It's people with a questionable sanity who love them. It's like people who watch the movie Renfield and write an online review about the movie like,
"You spin me right round, baby. The self and selfish is always about the self. Catch me outside." No spoilers, hilarious and ghoulish. This is fun, fun, fun. This film is a bloody blast. Go and see and experience the irresistible fresh eyes look on the vampire Dracula, who won't die and keeps on reinventing himself with a side of Seinfeld. There's so many layerings and excellent entertainment.
This review goes on exactly like this for 6 more paragraphs. Alright, back on track. So there's oh so many undead motherfuckers, but the one thing I've noticed is how the butt end of the joke is always the zombies. The zombies are everywhere. New zombie shit drops more frequently than my paychecks at my minimum wage job. I mean, they're in movies, TV, books, video games, you name it. At this rate, they're even gonna start making shitty YouTube videos before we know it. But the thing is, the zombies are never actually treated with any form of respect, and I think that's kind of fucked up. Think about it, vampires on TV are always just fun. You got hot vampire men in very shitty movies, who doesn't love those? And yes, I was referring to Nicolas Cage Dracula. And in the games, you might find yourself playing as attractive vampire person and get to suck the blood out of street rats. And literal street rats. Even in the games where the vampires are the enemy, it's fucking 9'6" vampire lady with whole ass talons for fingernails. The only recent game to come out that didn't follow this trend and chose to make the vampires disgusting beasts is Redfall. But is there anyone who genuinely gives a fuck about Redfall? Yeah. That's what I thought. But zombies, those are just there to bite you and get shot. I want more unique experiences like when you play the zombie like in Ben and Ed. The entire purpose of the game is to avoid getting diced into small bits and win the game show you're on because the prize at the end is a child, which once you finally win, you casually begin to consume before the credits roll. Okay, what is the point I'm trying to make? That is a great question, as I don't feel as if I've made that all too clear. I want more content that does something different with zombies, and I'm not just talking about different kinds of zombies where one is like, these are virus zombies, and another thing is like, these are fungus zombies, and another one is like, satanic zombies, smite them down with your electric punch, burn the sin out of them! We gotta mix it up more, not for everything zombie related, but just every so often. It's always a blast when shit humanizes monsters ever so slightly. It doesn't even have to be to the extent that we do with vampires, where they're just superhumans who drink blood and can't go outside. At least make zombies more than just a quick way to make a world more dangerous, because that's all they are right now. They're nothing more than the embodiment of an aggressive enemy you can't sympathize with, because they are feral and they are the enemy. But this wildly limits the potential of what you can do with them, because the best kind of villain in a story is one you understand, but there's nothing to get about zombies. That's why so much zombie content has to bring in a human antagonist. Somehow, despite it all, we live in a weird reality where shockingly few people are actually burnt out on zombie content, regardless of how much of it is made. I too still enjoy zombie stuff, but I would like to be one of those guys who goes against the grain and says, I think it's time we did more unique things with zombies, because fact is, one of the most unique concepts for zombie media I can think of off the cuff is a romance movie. And, well, that's just kind of fucking sad, I'm not gonna lie. Rant over. See you around. Unless I don't. Bye-bye.